Whatculture.
Right, okay, so I don't own any Funko Pop figures. However, I do recognise that they are pretty much everywhere, and so many of my friends have these creepy little death molds around their houses. I can't be dealing with these weird eyes, man. It reminds me of all the reasons that I had to leave Bristol and change my name. Never mind, let's leave that alone. Some of these plastic units can fetch some silly high prices, and their highly collectible nature means that they're always steadily climbing. They were only like 10 quid when first available, but the entries on this list are now worth some serious crack tokens. With this in mind, I'm Jules, Whatculture.com, and these are the 10 rarest Funko Pop figures and how much they're worth. Number 10. Planet Alia Vegeta. Quite a lot of figures on this list are exclusive to either the New York or San Diego Comic-Con. The standard procedure for buying them from the Funko booth is to queue up as early as you physically can. Sometimes they even operate it on a lottery system where you need to be lucky to have the right to buy from the booth in the first place. Even if you're lucky enough to get in line, there's a good chance they'll have already sold out of what you want to buy when you finally get the chance to buy it. It's f***ing madness. This Vegeta one was even harder to get, as it was a Toy Tokyo exclusive, and there were even less of this version than any of the other exclusives, meaning that its scarcity led to it having an inflated price of around 820 wing-wangs. Number 9. Headless Ned Stark. There are quite a few pop figures that have gained their value not just through exclusivity and scarcity, but also through their source material absolutely skyrocketing in popularity. Game of Thrones wasn't always the household name it is today, so when this version of Ned the Headless Stark was released at only 1,008 units, it quickly became sought after later down the line. After the show exploded in popularity, the demand went up dramatically, and if you do happen to come across one, you'll be expected to pay up to 640 bones. Number 8. Shadow Trooper. $1,580 for a Shadow Trooper. That is insane by most people's standards, but this piece that was one of only 480 in the set managed to find the sweet spot of desire within the market, namely that pop figures exploded around the time of its release, and it has the ever-seductive Star Wars branding on it. Released at the San Diego Comic-Con in 2011, there weren't any missed shots at grabbing this variant of the classic Stormtrooper. Puns, I've got them. Number 7. Glow-in-the-Dark Green Lantern. Released to the attendees of San Diego Comic-Con in 2010, compared to today, this figure actually wasn't quite hard to acquire. Regardless, early DC figures are still pretty much sought after by any pop enthusiast, and who wouldn't want to own a literally green version of the Green Lantern? Whilst he's not as costly as some of the other figures on this list, he still reaches an impressive average sale price of $1,140. Number 6. Pretty much every Freddy Funko variant. Freddy Funko is the company mascot of, you guessed it, Parsons Baby Wipes. I'm kidding, of course, it's Funko. There are a considerable amount of Freddy Pops about, with a few of them depicting him as an astronaut, an American football player, or even as a nerd. But we're not talking about these, we're talking about all of the variants that see him dressed up as a popular character. You can get one of him as a Ninja Turtle, Kylo Ren, the Night King, and many, many more. Pretty much all of these, however, are San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, but not from the booth, mind you, from an event called Funko Fun Days. It happens one night a year and tickets sell out fast. You go in for a party and a show, and on entry you're given a box filled with semi-random assortments of Freddy Funko Pop figures. Then there's even more opportunities to win figures throughout the evening, and it sounds like my worst f***ing nightmare. Some of these figures can be one of 480, but some can only be one of 12 in the world and can sell for thousands. Number 5. Clown and Gold Dumbo. While the original Dumbo is fairly common, some of the variants of this huge-eared elephant are worth a fair few peanuts. The first is just a standard metallic version of the normal mold. At only 480 pieces, it's still fairly difficult to come by, but isn't nearly as sought after, only reaching an average sale price of $135. The other two variants released are really quite special though. There's only 48 of each of them in the whole world, and there are a lot more than 48 avid Disney collectors out there, I should imagine. The gold version is nothing to turn your nose at, with an average sale price of $1,760, but if you want both of them to complete your set, you'd easily be looking at paying up to $2,020 on top. Number 4. Silver Hot Topic figures. What's more exclusive than a figure that you can actually officially never buy? And I do really mean never. These figures do come up for sale on the second-hand market, but it's still a very, very rare event. These figures are Hot Topic exclusives. Now, there are quite a lot of fairly cheap Hot Topic exclusive figures, but these ones are only available to staff. But not just staff as an exclusive, but only as a reward for performing well at your job. I mean, personally, I'd rather be paid money, but sure, I'll have a f***ing Tiny Peter pop figure for my f***ing bin. Why not? What's more is that these figures are extremely limited. Harley Quinn and Superman are both only 144 pieces each, whilst Batman is only 108. The estimated values for Harley, Superman, and Batman are $440, $630, and $880 respectively. Number 3. Alex Delarge. There's actually been a pretty recent release of the Alex Delarge pop figure, but that's not the one that's worth money. The original figures were made quite a while ago, and due to licensing issues, a full release never came to be. There were 24 made in total, 12 normal ones and 12 glow-in-the-dark chase variants. They were all sold off to collectors, and they've since been known as some of the rarest pop figures ever made. These do change hands occasionally, and die-hard collectors are always willing to snap them up for their huge asking prices. Reported sales for the normal figure averaged at $2,500, with at least one reported sale for the glow-in-the-dark variant coming in at $13,000. Quite a legitimate small fortune, that. There are more people that claim to have these figures than there are figures in the entire world, so some of these people are just either confused or just telling a f***ing lie about a toy which you can't even play with. F*** me, what a life they must lead. Number 2. Metallic Gold and Platinum Stan Lee. Stan Lee has had his own series of pop figures. I mean, why wouldn't he? He's regularly credited as being the father of modern superhero culture. There's a fair amount of Stan Lee variants out there as well. Most of them just feature him in different t-shirts, but some are a little wackier. There's a couple with his head on the body of Guan Yu, a legendary warrior from China's past, as you do, and there's also some in gold and silver. The rarest Stan Lee figures, though, are the metallic gold and platinum versions. There are only 10 of each in the world, and they were distributed by StanLeeCollectibles.com. The actual average price of these two is unknown, but they were up on eBay at one point for $9,999.99. What a bargain, right? And number 1, the Golden Ticket 2-pack. The previously mentioned Funko Fun Days had a pretty strong Charlie and the Chocolate Factory theme for 2016. On top of their assortment of Freddy Funko figures, attendees were given a special chocolate bar with Funko branding. 4 of the bars had a golden ticket inside, netting the recipient with a tour of the Funko Factory and a very special set of pops. You got a 2-pack with a golden version of Willy Wonka and an Oompa Loompa, and there's only 10 of these sets in the entire world. Only 4 were given out at the event, and it's thought that the other 6 were distributed to Funko's employees. As far as we're aware, there's never actually been a sale of one of these sets. Though that could change, of course, and one could only imagine the copious amounts of money that it would cost to purchase such a collectible. Much like art, I guess, the value is only however much it means to you. And in the case of these rabid collectors, I imagine that's a goddamn load, and to me, it's f*** all. And that's been our list. Do you have any Funko Pop figures? If so, good for you. You do whatever you want. If you want to make versions of us, send them in for a laugh. Go on. And also leave us a comment down below. Then swing by Whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. As always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.
Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Aren't you a star? Don't forget to subscribe below, and also the people who made this video, they're right here, so go and follow them and give them some love. If you want to see more content, there's probably some stuff flowing up above my head. Why not check it out? It could be fun. I'm not your dad.